Crackdown 3, these are tips and tricks in order to get bigger booms, better explosions, and have an easier time with your agent when you are exploring the exciting world of Crackdown 3. So, a key part of this game is your map. You'll start out in this area, you'll move along, and you'll come out to here. And this is really the first section of the game. I find the maps really helpful because it's really well done, and it gives you a sense of scale and verticality that's present within the world. I find that this one is more of a narrow map with a lot of verticality, a lot of climbing, and a lot of movement. So as you explore, which is a big part of Crackdown, just get out there, run around, hop around, have a good time. You'll unlock new things, and you'll get more objectives, like I have with my giant map. I've finished the game at this point, but you can see there's a lot to still do. A key thing to capture and collect in this game are these orange little houses. These are supply points, and they're all over the map. Once you capture them, they turn into this icon. And that allows you to have a place where you can restock your ammo, you can spawn any card that you've collected, or you can fast travel to. You can see with the X there, you can't do it while you're in combat, but you're able to quickly fast travel to any of the points around the world, and it does load quite quickly, which is super helpful. When you finished a mission or something like that, you'll get a complete icon right here, and they're waypoints. So you can actually send a waypoint at anything by pressing the A button. It should be noted that when you drive a new car for the first time, it is automatically added to your bank of vehicles that you can summon at any point. Same with guns. You just pick up a gun at any time. You'll see them on stands or around the map, pick them up, and then you're just available for you to use with your agent. So around the map, you can collect these special little things to unlock new agents, because I'm sure that's something people are interested in. These little data cells basically allow you to have a new agent. Each agent is individual. They have different abilities. Some are better at driving, some are better at shooting, some are better at explosions. Pretty cool. So yeah, generally a lot of content. There's lots of other little things to do, and your map is just really at the heart of it, because it'll let you know where you're going, what you have to do, what missions you're taking on. And you can just place a waypoint if you actually want to go somewhere. Very easy. You can filter things, you can adjust stuff, you can toggle the legend, but it does help you quite a bit. Then we have our targets tab. So this is where you get information on the people you're trying to kill. You get information on them by basically finishing off missions and everything in their respective areas, and then you gather intel and eventually you unlock them as a boss fight. Cool. So here we go. My character's a fairly grown agent. Cool thing about this is your progression. You get bigger, you get stronger, you jump higher, and then you get boosts, and then you can jet around a couple times. Pretty cool, right? So one of the essential things to collect when you're playing this game are agility orbs, and we'll run over a dozen or so while I'm doing this, I would imagine. There are tons of them on the map. They're green little orbs. There's also little specialty orbs. Oh, there's the agility orb right there. There's also specialty orbs, which are blue. They're little mystery ones, and they kind of give you like a plethora of skills. But these are all around the map, usually at higher points. You climb up, you jump up buildings, and you collect them. And they kind of give you points. So those are your skills. When you're killing enemies, when you're completing missions, you are gaining skills. You see that on the left-hand side. You kind of max out at 5 there. Well, traditionally you do. But you get just a continued score as you continue to build up your skills. You get new abilities and new powers. And it takes more and more time, obviously, the higher you get up in order to kind of max out your points. And what you're doing will contribute to that. So if I'm punching people to kill them, I will get power, or strength, kind of the red icon there. If I'm shooting them, I get the blue one. If I'm using explosives, I get yellow. And then if I'm driving a car, I get purple. And obviously green is the agility orbs. You can also do rooftop races, where you jump around the rooftops in order to get points. Those kind of help your agility out too. You can summon a car at any point. Once you get to a certain stage, you just tap up on the D-pad, or the equivalent if you're on PC, and a vehicle is just readily available to you. Honestly, once you get some points going, you don't really need a vehicle, but I know some people just like to drive around. So you get purple for killing people or for doing tricks and stuff like that. And you can also just tap LB at any time to do like a mad jump out of your vehicle. I guess we'll maybe show that off if I can get out of here. I don't really care for the driving in this game. It's better than the other ones, but it's kind of like, not my thing. That's why my skill's lower. So you can jump out at any point, and then you can recover when you're in the air in order to go. So one of the early abilities you get when you're moving is the ability to dash. So don't forget you can jump up, and you can do like a little boost to get you a little bit higher. And once you get a little bit higher in level, you can actually get a boost, which I'll show in a sec here. So you jump, and then you air dash by clicking the left stick. And I can do it a couple times because I got to a higher level. That's how you get places faster. You've also got a bit of a slide. So I don't know if you noticed that, but the character was sliding down. It actually makes it a little bit easier in this game to reach points that you maybe shouldn't be able to reach. So don't be afraid to check out moving against a wall and kind of pushing yourself up it and see if your character actually does hang on. But for the most part, the easy accessing ledges are readily available. You see them right here. So I try to just casually jump onto one. Cool, so you can hang on these ledges and you can use them as a stopping point in order to quickly climb up buildings and structures. They're all over the city. They're a very common thing to find in Crackdown. So just something to look out for. You can jump and kind of move too, which is really easy and helpful for jumping around. Don't be afraid to try this technique where you jump outwards and then you move inwards, as that is a good way to climb. And you're probably like, why are you spending so much time talking about like the mechanics of movement? Because a lot of this game is actually just moving around and reaching points that you couldn't reach before. That's kind of Crackdown. You're going around discovering, hopping, and just moving through a city having a good time. It's quite fun, at least I think so. And yeah, I mean, I enjoy Crackdown. So we're going to jump over and we're going to take a point. So this is a vehicle lockup. I don't really care. That's not going to be very exciting. So I've got a gun because I'm working on my shooting skill, but we're going to go in this with explosives because explosives are a lot more fun. So to capture supply points, you just simply go up to it. That's all you need to do. You should probably kill the enemies, but you just need to access it, and you're good to go. As I'm putting my head against this. Oh, come on today. Yeah, we're just going to climb the building. That I'm really underestimating how tall this is. How tall is this? Yeah, faster to go on the outside, and we get the agility orb, right? And you can move side to side, and you can jump higher using your boost. Great. So as you can see, we got a supply point here. We captured it. So when it comes to combat, there's a couple different ways to approach combat. So keep in mind, you can tap in LT, and you can have an aim, and it locks on, and it lets you know where your enemies are. You can keep moving. You can do all kinds of things. You can dash, and you're still locked onto your enemies. One of my favorite things to do is once you get to a certain point, you can jump in, you hold B, and you can do a ground pound. Don't forget while you're firing at enemies. I killed that guy too fast. You can also tap B to do punches. And you'll see when I kill this guy that I'm getting the red orbs, because that is collecting for that ability. Different guns have different options. Try to find a kit that works well for you. So we come to the supply point. We're able to come in here and we can change our loadout to a plethora of different weapons that are present. Again, you unlock them just by picking them up. Very easy. You can change your agent DNA too. I've collected quite a few of them. Notice how the agents have different abilities. Agility XP increase, blah blah blah. And then I'm able to quickly fast travel at any point. And you can also do that at any time from the map. You don't have to be at the checkpoint in order to fast travel to another checkpoint. Pretty cool, right? So we're going to jump over here and we're going to do an actual sort of big combative thing. So when it comes to combat situations like this, the key is to keep on fighting. So as you get shot, you notice my shields go down and then I have health. But as I kill guys, you'll notice that my shields recharge. So the best way to kind of keep your combat up is just to keep fighting. Seriously. The more you kill, the more points you're getting. Oh, there's a special orb there. Kind of seeing all the different points it gives the hidden orb. You want to target the main enemies. You're always clearly shown what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going with the orange. Good icon, good indicators. So another thing I found is the AI isn't really too bright in this game. I finished the final boss because I was having problems and I was a little underleveled just by standing at a certain ledge, and none of the enemies that they were spawning could attack me. So the best thing you can do really, if you're having troubles with any particular mission, is to sit back with like a gun, like a sniper or something, or a machine gun, and just kill them. I mean, obviously these guys are targeting me and they're hurting me, but you can find a spot where you're not getting attacked, and the enemies generally don't move from where they are. And that's fine. I mean, that's how you do things. I personally like getting in there and experiencing the action, and I find that moving around and keeping yourself busy is a good way to keep yourself safe from harm in this. Why are you having troubles with this ledge, lady? Don't be afraid to kind of experiment with how you climb too. Like I can actually, I don't know if this one is large enough foot-wise, but sometimes you can put your feet and actually stand on the ledge in order to jump a little higher. It's all about finding the best technique for climbing to certain places. Come on, there we go. Now we're at the roof. And finding what works well for you for attack-wise. Now keep in mind, you're not going to be as tough as I am when you start. And you just kind of get better as time progresses. Seeing combat, again, for the minigun, it's kind of like you have to keep it going, or it's like a long wind-up. But you can just switch between targets really easily and keep your shooting going. And you can move around and dodge and hide. It seems a lot better in this one, because in the past, like, the lock-on would kind of get, like, tangled up, as to say. And I think they've really sort of figured out that mechanic of it. To switch guns, because it's a little bit weird, you hold Y to kind of get to the next area. And then you can tap Y to kind of switch between them. And you kind of get locked between it two, and then you gotta hold Y to get back to the other one, and then you can tap again. Hopefully that helps. Overkill. Lots of things in the game can actually be used to your advantage. So we've got crates here, we can pick them up, and we can chuck them at people or things and kind of hurt people. That's an advantage that, you know, you could use too. Here's an example of picking up a weapon. Hold LB and then you have it available. I already have it, so there's no point for me to get it. The higher you up, or the higher up you are, the bigger your kind of jump down is with that ability. Super helpful. So you can pick up things, throw them at people. Kind of cool like that. If you kill them, you can pick up the dead bodies and throw those too. Very helpful. And we get like this cutscene thing. Let's see how many we've got. Game keeps track of a ton of stats, so you can just go into like the menu area that I had shown earlier, and you can just see, you know, what you've been doing, how far along you are. Again, I kind of teased that earlier, but you can go to the agent tab, and you can just kind of move over, and you can see like what your abilities are that you've unlocked as you're going. See level 5, it just basically maxes out there, and you get like the triple jump, and you can jump higher, and you can see at firearms, and you get new weapons. New stuff like that, higher resilience, stronger character, big bag of treats, woo. And then you can get like a little bonus thing as you kind of like overmax it, if that makes sense, over level. And they might add more with DLC. I don't know if they add extra skill things, but we'll have to see. And then vehicles, you get like new agency vehicles to unleash on enemies and the road. Again, you can kind of drive anywhere you want. The map is designed with a lot of roadways, but I prefer just hopping around. You get through the world fairly fast doing that, and I think it's more fun to kind of experience it. Or I fast travel, like a regular person. But you can drive anywhere, do whatever you want. That's the beauty of Crackdown. Now keep in mind, you should really be able to hop anywhere at a certain level. I think it's around 3 or so, I would say, should be that level where you can really kind of get to almost any point. You just have to be creative and figure out new ways and ledges that you can hop onto things. Because, I mean, the game is all about sort of like a parkouring platforming. Oh, and then sometimes it gives you checkpoints too, where you hold up. LB is your all button in this one, which is weird. It's how you interact with things, how you get into vehicles. So we just jump into this vehicle, and we can start driving. And you can do road races and other different things like that. Yeah, cool. I got some orbs for doing that challenge. And it's just a large city to kind of explore and do whatever you want. And so we're going to show off this, going to the menu and then picking somewhere to attack. Vehicle lockup. I don't want to do vehicle lockup. Kind of boring. We'll do a cooldown. And then we see that as a waypoint on the map and how to get there. But it's kind of far, and I'm pretty lazy. So do we have anything close by? Yes, we do. And then we're able to just fast travel, as long as you're not in combat. And then you're over there. Woo! Super fast, right? So again, a key point, at least in my opinion, is that you work on your agility first. Your agility is what's going to get you the ability to move places quicker, faster, and more efficiently. And because so much of this has a verticality element to it, you're going to want that ability to kind of move in the world I mean, that's just how it is, right? And then afterwards, you're probably going to do firearms. You won't get explosives for a while, but as soon as you can get explosives, just start focusing on them. Because the end game, there's a ton of enemies, there's a lot of stuff going on. And generally, it's more fun just to blow things up. I usually, like I said, I rock 3 explosives. I'll have this, I'll have, like, I think it's the overdrive is where my minigun is usually right now. And then that one's like a caustic kind of shot. And then I have the little tiny thing that just peppers people with explosives. It's not good to kill civilians, but I don't think it really penalizes you as much in this one. You just kind of get like a, don't do that. Oh, these guys are annoying. I just kind of punch them and then they leave, and then I punch them again, or I shoot them with the rocket. Definitely annoying as they move around. Different enemies take different damage. Keep your space if you're having problems. If you are getting attacked and your shields are low or gone and you're just in the red, it's very easy just to kind of run away from an area and then come back in a second once they've recharged, or finding a little huddle spot in order to hide yourself from getting shot, and then let your shields charge. Agility orb. I think this is what we were going to try to do, and I totally botched that up. But as you can see, there's always another way to get here. You can swim, but swimming is kind of like really annoying and tiring. Some areas you don't even need to really fight the enemies. You can just go in and flick a switch and you can finish the mission. There's these things called like lockups, which are little cells where people are being kept. Just run in there, hold LB, free the people, get a cutscene, and go on your way. When your skills kind of max out, you'll get an instant boost, so if you're low on health or something and you can just push it a little bit harder to get up to the next skill level, you will be good and healthy again, which is a lot of help. Obviously, if you die, right? You know, it's kind of like a life-saving technique to save you. Different enemies are different difficulties, so I suggest taking out the snipers and the rocket characters, which are clearly iconed. They're going to be your main problem. Medics are super easy to kill. They got the health icon. But yeah, rockets, guys, are your huge problems. Obviously, the orange things are your targets on the map at all points. You know what they are. And the sniper guys. So the sniper guys have like a marksman target on them. And they are a big threat, because they will. The snipers in this game, very powerful, chop you down quickly. Where am I getting shot from? Oh yeah, drones are also a threat. I don't think the kind of like big vehicles are too bad. The ones that shoot, like shoot rockets, but you can kind of just move around them and they don't follow you very well. But yeah, the rocket guys, big damage, big problems. Same with snipers, take them out first. Ground troops are easy, use them as ones to kind of pad your shield when things are getting low. And you're not going to be as strong as I am, so you're not going to just be able to come up here and like punch people, but use punching as a last ditch effort if they are low on health and you think you can wrap up the kill. As mentioned, objectives are always orange things on the map. A lot of the game is just kind of shooting stuff. I suggest using rockets for that, or grenades. There's different grenade types. I like the shock ones because they hold people, but you know, everyone's got their own preference. And you're going to be able to find that as you unlock new items and weapons to unleash on enemies. See, this is going pretty well. Occasionally jump in and do the whole fist bump thing, move people away. Don't be afraid to shoot explosives in the environment. That's right, there's huge things that you can kind of cause damage to, or even shock. There's batteries around, shoot those, will shock people. And that'll open up a window for you to kind of attack and get in there, cause damage. You can throw explosive barrels. I wouldn't suggest handling anything explosive in your hands, because there's a good chance that someone will shoot it out of your hands, and then you'll die, which is never fun, and you'll be like, oh, what a minor inconvenience, and then you'll have to go back to it. As is life. So I think that about covers what I got for Crackdown 3. Just get out there, blow some things up, play with a friend if you can. Oh yeah, these are the ammo things I think I was talking about. You can find them around the map. They're little glowy things. They just give you ammo. You can kind of cycle around them, and they'll spawn after time if you're in like a boss fight and you're like, oh, the ammo's all gone, and you just kind of wait patiently and you'll be able to grab them again, which is helpful. But yeah, just go out there, have some fun, explode some things, complete your missions. Explore the cyberpunk city, and remember, agility is key because everything else will fall in place afterwards. And once you get to a certain point, you can basically climb anywhere, and then you're just climbing better and faster as you improve that. And I think that's helpful for really conquering this game, having a good time no matter what, whether you're on Xbox One or Windows 10. Enjoy that crossplay, enjoy the Crackdown, and make those booms happen. Good luck collecting them orbs.
As